We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Well, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollersPodcast.com. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday, Tuesday. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here we are, guys. I'm Stuttering Craig. Glad you guys have found me today and found us on this glorious hump day it is. Well, I'll tell you what, we got a great show for you guys. The internet has certainly given us all of the great things to talk about today, including controversy, which is always fun to talk about. I'll tell you what's also fun to talk about. Listen, I'm going to give you guys a straight up fair warning right now. If at any time, if you have any sort of bad reactions to flashing lights, if you're one of those guys who at the start of a show, you need some sort of message saying, hey, you may have a seizure, then I'm going to give you a warning right now. Don't stare at Blabs' earrings.
Yay! I have lots of pumpkins today, actually.
Oh my gosh.
It just goes and goes and goes. But yes, hello. Happy Halloween Eve. So I got the pumpkins.
Look at that. Way to go, Blabs. Looking sharp.
Shout out, Mom. She got them for me at Walmart, I think.
Let's go, Mom. Let's go. Nice. Hey, so, you know, let's see. Where is it? My mom got me
I thought he was going to get earrings. He was like, I got pumpkin earrings too, actually.
No. You know, my mom got me something. She was like walking around like Hobby Lobby one day, and she got me one of those metal plates that says like, gamers are, you know, it's more just like gamers are cool or whatever, you know. and I was like, man, I really appreciate that, Mom. You're about 30 years too late. I'm 43 years old.
Hey,
you know,
what the camps.
Yeah, exactly, which is why I have it hanging over there, because I love my mom. By the way, mama turned 75 a couple days ago.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, 3/4 of a century. That's pretty dang good. And you know
What's the color for 75, right? Because like there's like gold and silver and platinum for like those type of anniversary stuff.
Dust.
Do you know about that?
No, I don't. No, I don't know that. But
child, it's fine.
But I'll tell you, she's doing excellent. She's in great health. She's mentally sound most days, and physically sound as well. But
if she's watching, happy birthday.
Love you, Mom. Love you very much.
We email each other. Bye.
Have you emailed her yet?
No, you don't give me your email. I can't do it.
I'm not giving you my mom's email. It's ridiculous.
And I guess we can't be friends, I guess.
I'm not giving
Greg doesn't want us to be friends, Liz. He's hindering our friendship.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. I tell you what, I'm not going to hinder your friendship from Mally Mouse.
Yo,
how are you, Mally? Great to see you. How's everything going with you?
It is going dandy. How about you guys?
Doing well. Do you want to be friends with my mom?
I mean, I guess if Blabs can't be, then I can be a segue. Blabs, I'll give you the email. It's okay.
Yeah, that's it. We'll make a group chat.
Make a burner email for you, which would be great. Well, look, I'm glad you're here, Mally. Is everything going great in your life?
Oh, it's going as well as it can be with a week or less than a week now until possibly World War III. But yeah.
We're 6 days away from the end of the world. And here we are, which is crazy. So, well, let's enjoy the time we have together for the next 6 days. It'll be great. Well, we're glad you joined us today, and we're glad you guys have joined us as well, you normal men. I'd like to remind you guys, we are live over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. We also have an X account. You could have found out that Mally was going to be on the show. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do. So follow us over there for memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, Mally's going to stab you with one of her fake knives in Pal World.
Oh, shit. Okay, nice. Going hard.
I got
Mal, you do kind of have crazy eyes when you want to, you know? Like
exactly. works.
The light switch. I gotta save it. You gotta reserve it until you really need it. If you always have it out, where's the intimidation?
It's good. It's good.
Pretty sure she's got a lightsaber too somewhere back there, so she'll probably
Yeah,
just chop your head off. in
Again,
power.
you gotta keep it hidden. You gotta get the cutesy, and then you just pull it out of nowhere. Yeah.
We also have the show over on Kick, and you can listen to the show over on Apple Podcast and Spotify, or wherever you find your audio version of the show. But of course, we want you guys to head over to sidescrollerspodcast.com. It's a great place to support. I'll tell you what, let me tell you why it's a great place to support. I know I talk about this on a day-to-day basis. I've been online for a long ass time, and I've said before that pretty much the only people that I think about that were online before me making content was Mega 64. Mega 64 yesterday had to do a big Patreon drive, right? And because they have seen an 80% dip in like revenue and support and everything over the last 9 months. And that sucks because I'm a big Mega 64 fan, have been for a long time. But I don't want to use Patreon, right? I refuse to use Patreon. We started with Patreon way back in the day, and we have a Patreon, but we don't promote it because Patreon is a shitty platform that will boot us if we say the wrong thing. So that's why it's important you guys go to sidescrollerspodcast.com, become annual members over there. We're going to do, and in 2025, we're going to be doing all sorts of fun stuff in year 3. So of Side Scrollers over there, it's going to be exclusive. So we're going to be making the value way more. So anyways, I don't want to be like Mega 64 and have to do like a big like marathon. I just hope we can do this on a day-to-day basis, and you guys naturally make the move over there and support. With all due respect to Mega 64, because I have a ton of respect for those guys and what they've done for the last 20-something years online. So anyways, head over to sidescrollerspodcast.com, become a supporter if you would. I would greatly appreciate that. But if you're new and you don't want to head over there, you can hit the subscribe button over here and join the 105,000 plus normal men who have found common sense in the video game and entertainment space. We greatly appreciate that. Let's do our best to get to 1,337 likes. Every time you come into the show, just do me a favor. Scroll your little mouse over that thumbs up, hit that, or use your thumb on your phone. We'd really appreciate that. We got a video coming up at 2:00 today. It's going to be released. It's available for members over on YouTube right now. But it's a breakdown. It's like an hour-long breakdown of what we talked about yesterday on the show with this Sweet Baby Inc. Kim Bel-Air sex podcast rabbit hole we went down yesterday. If you missed yesterday's show, or even if you watch yesterday's show, I encourage you to tune in for that. That'll be at 2:00 Central Time today. So just be on the lookout for that coming up. And we'll have several videos throughout the day. So just want to give you guys a heads up on that. So have you heard about, Mally, are you familiar with Sweet Baby Inc., this consulting company in the video game space? Yes?
Yeah.
Did you hear that the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. tried to get into podcasting in the mid-2010s? And the hook was 2 women talking about sex. It was like a sex podcast, but they would rank every week things that they want to bone. And they would talk about like Nintendo characters and cartoon dogs. And it was really bizarre. Anyway, so
it's like Call Her Daddy, but like combined with the new Hear Me Out cake trend. Like it's to hear me out, Yoshi.
Yes, crazy. That's pretty much what it was. It might as well have been called Hear Me Out. That's pretty much what it was called.
Okay.
So we talked about that. We did a deep dive on it yesterday. That spawned from the information from Master of TDS, and then Savvy took that and kind of went down the deep rabbit hole, as only Savvy can do. So anyways, watch that video at 2:00 today. We'd really appreciate that. So yeah, Blabs, as we get rolling with today's show, why don't you fill us in on today in video game history?
Okie dokie. So today is October 30th, which means Mega Man Battle Network was released back in 2001. We have The Witcher releasing back in 2007. And then we have Assassin's Creed 3 releasing back in 2012. So I did say it. There would be an Assassin's Creed also today. And there it is. The end.
All right. Some noticeable games that you missed today, Blabs, include Jet Set Radio for the Dreamcast in 2000, which is getting a reboot here in the next couple of years from Sega. Mally, are you familiar with Jet Set Radio back in the day?
I remember seeing it in the stores and stuff when we'd go shopping for our Dreamcast games.
Man, Jet Set Radio. Also, another game with phenomenal music, which I was floored by back for the PlayStation 2, a game called SSX, which was a snowboarding game back in the day. My God, that game was phenomenal.
That was my favorite. I love that. I still play it.
SSX is great. Tricky was awesome too. Great like arcade sports games. They're the best. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 was released 23 years ago for the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. The Simpsons game was released 17 years ago for the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Wii, and Xbox 360. You mentioned The Witcher, which is great. Assassin's Creed 3. And also one game that is very near and dear to me, which nobody really cares about, but I do. Back in 1983, a game called Lode Runner was released for the PC, which I played it's a game that I always wanted for the Nintendo back in the day. But little side story for you, Mally and Blabs. This just tells you a little bit about me. Back in the day, it wasn't like you just go on Steam and buy a bunch of games. You had to go to Toys R Us or wherever and buy your games. So at Toys R Us, you'd have this big long line of like video game box art, and you just stare at it. That's how you kind of made your decision based off of like what it looked like on the box art. So I decided I either wanted to buy Lode Runner, but pinball for the Nintendo Entertainment System was also available. And I thought to myself, well, I would like Lode Runner, but my entire family would like pinball. So I went and bought pinball that day, or I got pinball that day instead of Lode Runner. Well, my entire family did not play pinball. I was the only one who played pinball. But many years later, my team at Screw Attack, they actually bought me Lode Runner like 25 years later, and that was like a really nice thing, and they all signed it. So
That's
I don't care.
trying to tell humanizing stories here, Blabs. All right.
Why are you telling me this? What makes you think I have any interest in that at all?
No longer on the.
on when you came back.
Here I am, just trying to lighten things up a little bit. Well, anyways, with all that said.
Okay, no, sorry. Yeah, you like really just queued me up for that.
Oh my gosh.
Don't make me do it, Blabs.
I have the power too. You can't do anything.
Where's the Rock when you need him? Where's the Rock?
Shut up, bitch!
I
Thank
found
you,
him
Dwayne.
for you.
Thank you, Dwayne. Appreciate that. Ridiculous. All right, hey, right off the bat, Mr. Tickle Trunk came in with the $2 Canadian. Says review propaganda is the perfect term for this. Yes, we're going to get into the Dragon Age Veilguard nonsense, which is nuts. Grimnack says, Mally Mouse, I always knew you were based. There she is.
Yeah, I think that's a little obvious.
61 says, according to the all-knowing and infallible internet, the 75th wedding anniversary is the diamond anniversary.
That's what it was for weddings. Okay.
Yes, for weddings, not for life.
Well, I thought sometimes they'd do something for birthdays too. You know, those really big monumental ones, 50, 75, 100.
Get this cake. You can eat
Well,
it. too.
I've heard about other like Disney does the celebrations. They have the diamond celebration. They do that. I didn't know what year it was. I couldn't tell you.
That's it. Craig's just trying to hide the fact that he didn't know about this stuff, and now he feels bad because it's his mom's 75th birthday.
My dad should have given her some diamonds or something. Diamonds. Maniac Mutilator says, which is very odd, says, love the hair Mally and Blabs earrings. Well, I would feel a lot more comfortable about that if your name wasn't Maniac Mutilator.
Yeah. I didn't see that until now. Please don't kill us. Thank you.
Mercenary says, Blabs, you're fired. Again, that's right.
Every day, bro.
Commodore says, I'm dressing up for work as Diva with Energy Dome hat. Nice, Commodore fan. That's going to be a good one. Love that. John says, Stuttering Craig's mom email at gmail.com. There you go, Blabs.
Thanks.
Blabs, email that. See if anybody responds.
No, I'd be afraid, actually.
Hey, look at this. Matthew came in with a massive $50 Canadian money. Says, why must you bring Mally Mouse? Don't you know I must now give money because she is on? Matthew, thank you for that, and enjoy your reward right there. Look at
Mally will be joining us every day now, if that's the
Sorry,
case.
Congratulations, Mally. You're on the show regularly, which
Right,
is
apparently.
all
Whatever
right, great.
works.
Matthew, thank you so much, and Normal Men, enjoy your reward. Christian Rocker says, Craig, check DMs. You two told me to edit my super chat in order to send this. As you will see, there was nothing wrong with it. All right, check my DMs on Twitter. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Christian Rocker. Really appreciate that. And once again, thank you, Matthew, for your great support. The girthy one came in at the 10, says, just some normal, innocent support for some normal, innocent men. I'll be your friend, Craig. I'll be your mom's friend, Craig. We'll knit and do puzzles. Girthy one, no. Also, look at this. Here we go. TrentCave.com says, Mally Mouse is so cute. Blabs earning Disney seizures. That's right. There you go.
Close your eyes, bro.
Thanks, Trent Cave. Appreciate that. That's wonderful. Really appreciate that. That's very, very nice. All right. You know, we were talking about this before the show, and I had a shocking revelation a mere 2 days ago when I sat down and watched Nightmare Before Christmas with my family. Obviously the classic, the Tim Burton classic back in the day. I think everybody's seen Nightmare Before Christmas along the way, unless you haven't, Blabs. Have you seen Nightmare Before Christmas?
No.
Are you serious? You've never seen that?
I've never seen it. My parents don't really like Tim Burton, so I never watched any of his movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen like
what she's saying. What Mally's saying.
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
I'm hurt.
I mean, I've seen some, but not a whole lot. And that
well,
one.
but you one of the best ones?
Yeah, I've seen like bits and pieces on TV when it was on TV, but that's really it.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I've heard the music's pretty good. I've seen like bits and pieces of it, like I said, but I've never seen the full thing. I know.
Okay, well,
Look,
Mally,
you have tonight and tomorrow to correct this before you have to wait a whole nother year. So
yeah, this is important. You need to see this, Blabs. It's a great film.
it's important. Yeah.
Okay, I was
Like
gonna
this-
watch Hocus Pocus. But
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
It's okay. You have more time. And
No.
technically, it's a Nightmare Before Christmas. So I guess you have the next 2 months to watch it too.
Blabs, I'm going to say this right now. Your life will be better from seeing Nightmare Before Christmas. You will be happy. You will enjoy it.
Is
Your
he
life
saying I'm
will
not
improve.
happy before seeing this movie that no one else is happy before watching that movie?
No, I'm saying like your
We're all
happiness level.
depressed.
Your
before
happiness
that.
level could be like an 8 right now, and it would be bumped up to like a 9. Just saying, you know, it elevates your life a little bit. This is a phenomenal movie. This is like golden age. This is a Disney movie now, but it wasn't always a Disney movie. You know, they came in and they bought it and all that stuff or whatever the technicalities were. Anyways, the point is that Jack Skellington, Blabs.
Yeah, he's the skeleton.
Yes. He has a dog in it named Zero, and it's a ghost dog. Now, Mally, with all that said and all the diversions that we've had, the weave, if you will, with Blabs, as we've weaved our way through utter disappointment. Did you
What else is
know?
new, Craig?
What's that? I'm sorry, Blabs?
What else is new?
Yes. Did you know, Mally? I was two days ago years old when I found out that Zero's nose is actually a pumpkin.
Yes, I did know that. I actually dressed up as Zero in high school for one of our Halloween days, and I showed up with my little pumpkin painted on my nose, and literally the amount of people that wanted to correct me and tell me his nose is just red like Rudolph. I was like, okay, then you're uncultured and you haven't seen the movie because it is indeed a pumpkin.
Yes, I had no idea. And Blabs, spoilers here. I don't.
The dog has a pumpkin nose.
Blabs.
I'm sure that
Blabs.
really affects the plot. Don't worry.
No. But what I'm saying is, look, here's Zero. Here's the dog Zero, right? And the entire time it's like this glowing orb, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you get a closer look at it, you know, you're like, oh, okay. And even like this is what it looks like most of the film. So it's just like this glowing thing. You can't see it. But then you get like this closer look at it. Oh, holy shit, it's a pumpkin. It's
Little jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, little jack-o'-lantern. Like, how cool is that?
That's cute.
It is cute. And I've seen that movie. I've been watching it for 30 years and I had no idea. So anyways, now everybody knows.
You know, there's also like reasons that each of the characters supposedly died. There's like stories on it.
no.
So like there's a reason that Zero is the ghost that he is and Jack is the skeleton and like Lock, Shock, and Barrel. They all have like death stories.
Really?
Yeah, I think I could be wrong. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Jack and Zero died together in a house fire, and that's why Zero is like a ghost because he was like electrocuted, and so was Jack.
Wow.
Yeah.
Biggie Butter says, why is this a topic? Because I just wanted to share as a podcast. This is what we do. We talk about things on a day-to-day basis. Oh my God. Flickerbox about to be thrown off. Says I agree with Blabs, and NBC movie was pretty overrated. What do you? Oh, Flickerbox, it's so.
I mean, I don't know anything about this movie, so I can't say if it's overrated or not. But like, I'm not the biggest fan of Tim Burton stuff. So
I think he's hit or miss for sure. For sure.
Like, I liked his movie that he did, like Miss Peregrine's. It was not a good book adaptation at all because I read all the books, but it was still a fun movie on its own. So I liked that one. But like, I hated Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Oh god, that was everywhere on my TV as a kid. I wanted to like shoot myself. No, that was terrible.
I just watched Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children the other day. Yeah,
it's a fun movie. It's cute. It's like I said, it's completely different from the books, but it's still fun.
Yeah, very.
All right. Well, look. We got a lot to talk about today. And I'm glad
Craig's just so like deflated now. He's like, whatever, man.
Well, I just thought it was interesting. Ministry of Wrong thinks that Zero was killed by Epic Mike in Metal Gear. Okay, thank you. The Titter Pig Rancher says, I'm with Blabs. I hate Tim Burton's work. He ruined Batman in the 90s. Haven't seen Nightmare Before Christmas and never planned to. Wow.
Damn.
Man, that's crazy. Sparkshot came in as a member for 4 months. Thanks, Sparkshot. And Dollar Bill 84 says, Blabs, love you. Mally, love you. Craig, hi. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Good. By the way, Christian Rocker over on X did send this message. Says, good to see Mally here. Was recently thinking I haven't seen her around much lately. Blabs, your ears look like they're trying to help land a plane.
I'm actually air traffic control.
It's good. Good for you, Blabs. All right, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Hard News. All right. Now, ladies, I have breaking news yesterday. I picked up a video game. I was pressured into buying a game, Blabs. And I don't know if you'll be interested in this game. But I was pressured into buying Black Ops 6. So I have purchased Black Ops 6. I have not played it yet. But the new Call of Duty game is out. And I saw this clip and I just thought, wow, Call of Duty really hasn't changed over the years. This is a clip. I would think this would be passed around considerably more than it already has. But back in the day, there was this thing called spawn camping. And that's something that you saw all the time.
It still exists in games today, too.
Very much so. Let's check out this wonderful piece of poetry.
So it's a really good way to level up, okay?
Yeah, no joke. So there's that, which is awesome. Spawn camps, yes, spawn camp existing. Then there was, let's see, there's more here on the bottom, but either way, spawn camping.
He does make a great point, though, to like my response to him saying like that it always exists, but he does have a point because this franchise is so big and has taken 20 years basically. It's like, and we still have this issue, and it's fair enough. It's a great point to make, but yeah, spawn camps exist everywhere.
So anyways, I look forward to digging into that whenever I play Call of Duty again here soon.
You know, Flawed plays Call of Duty. I always see it popping up on Steam. I think you should play with him. I just, mostly because I want him to start yelling at you. So.
I don't know. I mean, Call of Duty is fun. I know. Yeah. Look.
I'm waiting for like if they ever do an update to Warzone, which is kind of like a rumor for next month.
Well, I was bullied into buying it. I was not planning on buying it at all. Everybody at Geeks and Gamers yesterday on Tuesday night's main event, I got bullied into it yesterday because we were talking about it. Because my stance was like, hey, I'm gonna hold the line and leave kids alone, right? Based off of last year with Nick Merckx and all that stuff. And they're like, well, you go to play it, it's really fun. And I was like the only one who didn't buy it. I was the only one standing by my principles over there until I got bullied into not standing by my principles.
Coward.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just such a giant pussy. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
I know. Blabs, when are you going to play Call of Duty next?
I don't own it.
Oh, liar.
I actually don't own it. If you look at me, you have me on Steam. You can see I don't own it. The last thing I have is Warzone from a couple years ago, and it's not even installed anymore because it kept crashing.
Yeah, I know. I hear that. I'm sure you'll get it bought for you by somebody. So
why are you buying it for me? Is that what's going on?
Not me. No.
Well, no one else is buying it. They're not going to spend like X amount of dollars on a game I may or may not play.
Jake says, all I hear is Craig has no principles. Listen, I know.
Listen. Everyone was always talking about leave the kids alone, but there was a lot of other factors into boycotting Call of Duty. And if you actually paid attention, you would know. Thanks, chat.
Nuke says, are you going to play Veilguard next, Craig? No, but I'm going to play Concord. Rest in peace. But super respect. Anyways.
You guys frame them and put in like a shadow box?
I don't know. Maybe I will. My 2 copies of Concord, which is totally dead right now. By the way, we haven't checked that recently. We should probably check eBay to see what the Concord prices are going for right now. See if they've bumped up at all. I see 12 bids for $142 for Concord, a sealed version of it. So
what is it like? Is there like the deluxe or something? Because remember they did sell those.
Nope, this is just the regular old version, $142. So over on eBay right now.
Xbox,
PlayStation 5. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Well, we had a noticeable death, at least for y'all. I actually don't know who this person is, so I'm not going to pretend like I do. Terri Garr, Blabs, you wanted to talk about this person? Do you know who?
I didn't really know of her a whole lot, but she was in that Frankenstein movie. What? Wasn't she the one where he's like, nice knockers? And she's like, thank you. But he's talking about like the door handles, but her big tits. So, yeah.
Mally, do you know who Terri Garr is?
Wait a second. Scroll it back up. It says something about Friends. She played Phoebe's what?
Oh, yeah. Was she Phoebe's sister or mom or something?
Phoebe Abbott?
In 3 episodes? Oh, gosh.
Phoebe Abbott. Google.
Okay. Well, anyways,
did Phoebe have a twin or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was played by herself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Phoebe Abbott was like her biological mom.
Yeah.
Oh. Ursula's biological mother. Okay, that's why she looked familiar. All right. From Friends.
Yeah. Well, she's dead.
Thanks, Craig. Man, you should have seen him yesterday with the South African Steve Irwin. Like, you're just on a roll, bro.
Well, I mean, what do you say? Like, she had a great life, great career, I'm assuming, and now she's not with us anymore. Sorry. Like, bummer. I hope my mom lives past 79. She lived to 79. So rest in peace, Terri Garr from Young Frankenstein and Tootsie. So, yeah. Hey, we have another noticeable death today. An anniversary.
Wait, she was in Baby Boomer?
Okay.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
We have another noticeable death today, tying into Disney, as a matter of fact. 12 years ago, Mally, Star Wars died. Blabs.
I was there. I was there when it died. My dad has gone to every single opening premiere, night of Star Wars movies. And that was our last one. I went with him to several of them, as they came out as I was growing up, and that was the last one.
Blabs, you have some thoughts on this, I'm sure, when it comes to Star Wars.
George Lucas sold out, bro.
I gotta be honest. I think that George Lucas, when he sold it for, like $4.6 billion.
$4 billion. But like the thing was, he had like some type of like verbal agreement, from what I'm understanding, with Bob Iger, that they would like look or use his treatments of the sequels. But that apparently wasn't in writing. So that was just like, oh, yeah, so we'll totally look at it. And then they didn't, and then he just tossed it. So he totally got fucked over. But like, that's also, you should have had that in writing, saying you have to use these.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this in the chat. They said, I don't blame George. I don't blame him either. I don't blame somebody for selling something for $4 billion, generating generational wealth for not just you, but for your family for 10 generations. Yeah, like literally ever. Like, you got $4 billion. Well, I guess probably about $2 billion after taxes. But either way, you throw that money into investments, and you're, like, hey,
he's
man.
still making money too, because they're constantly having to credit him on every single Star Wars like media afterwards, because it's still his creation. So he's still making a shit ton of money off of them. Mm-hmm. But he has commented on it since, and he's like, yeah, it's whatever. But he also says, I don't pay attention to anything Disney does. So it's very clear that he didn't like anything that they did. And I believe it the first movie that came out with Disney, he was like, it won't be the same anymore after this. And so it's like, well, why did you do it then?
Well, he did it because they threw down $4 billion in front of him, Blabs.
I know, but still, I don't know. I see all sides, but at the same time, knowing what I know now, I'm like, you did this. And they did this too, obviously, but like, yeah.
Well, George Lucas, his age right now is what is he?
Well, he sold out because he has a child. Some like a young child, and he wanted to be home.
Well,
That's
yeah.
the main reason, family stuff. And I understand. I really understand, like, also $4 billion, who wouldn't, but at the same time, like I said, knowing what we know now, it's like.
So, okay. So George Lucas is 80 years old, right? Let's just say hypothetically, he had held out 10 years, right? And he waited until he was, and if this happened 12 years ago, he would have been 68. Let's say he waited till he was 78, right? And then now, in the event that happens, we would have probably another couple Star Wars movies in there, right? Probably a new trilogy that was done by George Lucas. Let me tell you why I think George Lucas was in the right. Because when he sold, what he's done is he's actually turned himself into this like godlike figure where people like George wouldn't do this, George wouldn't have done this, and it's turned him into this like monolith of like all-knowing Star Wars, which makes sense because it started out of his brain, right? I
disagree.
Well, why? What do you?
Because
disagree?
if you actually pay attention to the real Star Wars fans who have been there since the dawn of time, a lot of them shit on the prequels and say nope, nope.
Okay, and that's just it, right? And then that's where the rose-colored glasses comes in. People look back, and because I remember when the prequels came out, they were not thought of as like good movies. I remember Star Wars fans being like, this is the best George can do, whatever. I mean, am I right, Mally, or do you recall?
No, 100%. I mean, my dad talked to me about it. He's a huge Star Wars fan, so I just remember discussing this over the years of like, yeah, it was kind of mocked when it first came out. Like, okay, explosions in space, like that's it. But because that was so fun to see and it was such a new thing, it captivated an audience.
Well, so the first three, I say the first three is 4, 5, and 6. I speak this as a Star Wars expert. You guys, and for everybody who's new, who doesn't know my Star Wars background, I've seen each film exactly one time, and I really don't care about Star Wars. But I look at this from the outsider perspective, and I think there is some rose-colored glasses for the prequel series that came out at the turn, 1999 or early 2000s when those came out.
Yeah, 2002 and 2005.
Right. So when those came out, they were not received very well, right? At least by the audience. But I think over the last, really what happens since Disney's taken over, and with the last three, people look back on those more positively than they certainly did back when they were first released, which I think ultimately makes George look better.
A lot of like Star Wars snobs that I know who have like read all the EU, which is the expanded universe books and everything, they still do not like the prequels.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, like even after all this time, I personally enjoyed the prequels. My thoughts have not changed since I watched them when I was a little kid in theaters and stuff like that. But I do see that a lot of people are like, not George Lucas was kind of shit. There was also other people involved who were like completely thrown out by Disney afterwards who should have been working on this stuff. So it wasn't just George's creation. There was other people helping out. Of course, he is the biggest one, obviously.
Well, that happened 12 years ago today, and I think Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic all thank George Lucas for that.
Oh, yeah. Nice careers.
That move definitely gave them a lot to talk about, for sure. So something worth talking about as well is Dan, who came in with the 50 Canadian monies. Blabs, why don't you read that, because it's in robot speak, I think.
Okay, I'm trying to find tits. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so a lot of people forgot clay stop motion films was going to be replaced by CGI, but until Nightmare Before Christmas came out, it wasn't the highest. Where'd it go? I gotta pull this up.
Well, I pulled it down because of the boobs.
Okay, I have it now. Okay, you can. Okay. Before Christmas came out, it wasn't the highest grossing film, but it was loved. But it was loved by so many people when it came out on home video, became a classic. I love it. Thank you, Dan. He did do some grammar this time today. Shout out, Dan.
Appreciate you, Dan. When you super chat, I need to hand that off to Blabs because I have no idea what you're talking about half the time. Thank you very much, Dan. Really appreciate that. And yeah, you're right. When Nightmare Before Christmas came out, it actually didn't do very well in the box office at all. But it just been a slow trickle.
That's like Love Actually. Everyone sees Love Actually, right? That didn't do very well at the box office, and then it became like a cult classic for Christmas.
Oh, okay. I don't know that one. I'm not a
You
girl.
know, Love Actually has like everybody in it.
I don't have a vagina.
You have a wife and 2 children who are both females. You have a mother.
Jason. I'm sorry. Flickerbox came in and says Lucas knew when to hold him and when to fold him, and we're still talking about him today. There you go. That's right, Flickerbox. You get it. Jason came in and says, look at Return of the Jedi. Lucas was already going down the Disney route then. I think making characters that would sell as toys was his number one goal.
Yeah, it was a pretty big goal, and Disney failed at that.
Master Gawa says we don't need humanizing because we aren't inhumane monsters like Sweet Baby. Thank you for having Nally on. I love women who want to repeal the 19th. Is that the women can vote amendment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I made a video recently that got a little bit of traction, even on the lefty side, because they were saying like women wouldn't want to take away their own rights. And then somebody tagged my video and was like, actually, they do. And I'm like, yeah, if anything, to cancel out those bimbos.
Hey, to each their own. I love it. That's great. Mercenary says, but the sequels can burn in heck. The EU is great. Thank you, Mercenary. Also says, I love the prequels. I can understand the hate. There you go.
Yeah, I'm with Mercenary.
John says he gave most of the $4 billion to charity. Is that true?
I don't know. I'm assuming he must have given a bunch of it off for like tax write-offs. Here, take this so I don't get taxed.
We also have some breaking news from Sean. Ivan Reitman is indeed dead.
Shit, not again.
Thank you, Sean. Ivan Reitman been dead for a little past 2 years now. T-Mac Burninator came in at the 5, says, be careful, Craig. If you actually fire Blabs, the quartering will hire her within days.
No, thank
Mally
you.
Mouse is the only, what'd you say, Blabs?
I said no, thank you.
Mally Mouse is the only mouse I can support. Not like Mickey. Y'all do great work. Thanks, T-Mac Burninator. Yeah, that's interesting to watch. Abdulio says, yeah, the Star Wars lore has always been in flux. George took so long to make the prequels that in the meantime, the gap was filled with the EU, and the prequels released it made a lot of EU lore non-canon, which angered much of the fans who were invested in those.
Fun fact, there was an Anakin in the expanded universe, like one of the Skywalker's sons was also named Anakin Solo, and then they killed him off because George Lucas didn't want 2 Anakins existing during like the prequels coming out.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a bunch of other people involved in Star Wars besides George Lucas and obviously Dave Filoni. The weirdo, but yeah.
There you go. Soon Soul Silver says the sequel made me realize how much I hate Star Wars and live actions in general. This is why I stick to anime and video games for my entertainment. There you go. Thanks, Soul Silver. Mercenary says I can't understand the hate for prequels. Autocorrect. Thank you, Mercenary. And Hippo came in with the 10. Says I blame George. He placed Dave and Kathleen in the business. Did not protect for pre-Disney extended universe content and supported Bob Iger in recent proxy vote. The Tolkien IP was protected until Rings of Power. Thank you, Hippo. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Tolkien did it right. Gave it to one of his children, wasn't it? And then like they took good care of it until
Rings of Power. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, we have a big lawsuit, or actually, it's not a lawsuit; it's a fine that's been in place, Mally. Now we all know Google is up to some funky things along the way. Everybody knows it. Google is a big donator to one political party, but not another. They can definitely tip the scales in any way, shape, and form that they see fit. And they have done that to the tune of, well, the entire country of Russia. Whereas Russia, it's such a crazy statement to say, the entire country of Russia is attempting to fine Google $20 decillion over YouTube bans. And the fine surpasses the entire wealth and asset value of Earth. And Google has since ignored their demands. To put that in perspective, Mally, let's play the Price is Right game.
Okay.
How many zeros are at the end of $20 decillion?
Oh my gosh. I don't think I knew that numbers went that high. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say 20.
20 decillion. Okay. 20 zeros. Blabs, did you see this?
I did, so I can't play the game.
All right, if we were to play this, Mally, I think you actually may be close here. Let's see. We have 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, well, you're way off. Sorry. 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33 zeros at the end right there. So there we are right there. And to put that in perspective, when it comes to these numbers, there's million, then there's billion. This is according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Trillion, quadrillion, quintillion, sextillion, septillion, octillion, nontillion, and then decillion, which is what Russia is suing
Wow.
suing Google for, or at least fining them for. So, I mean, it could be better. They could be going for the undectillion over here, which is 36 zeros at the end, but whatever.
What exactly are they suing for? Like, what's the specifics here?
Well, they're fining. I use the word suing. They're fining them over YouTube bans. So, yes, that's kind of the idea. They here we go. Here's the actual story. Ironically, well, I'll say from Gizmodo, which has a G in the upper corner, which looks suspiciously like Google. But Russia court wants Google to cough up that many. I love that the zero just goes right off the screen. The court imposed a fine, which is doubling every week.
Wow.
Doubling every week. Following lawsuits brought by Russian TV channels blocked from YouTube. So I'll take 0.01% of that, and I'll be happy. Just gonna throw that
seriously.
out there. So, anyways, this is the world we live in today.
Wow.
Maybe Mally, maybe you should try to sue Google for that.
Right?
Or just fine them. Just start sending out fines.
Yeah. I mean, if they can do it, why can't anybody just start fining them? I mean,
print out a letter. Mail.
Yeah, right? Like,
Fine.
I'll just make my own like ticket. Send it.
Yeah, signed by the Mouse House.
Yeah.
You ever thought about that? Like, there's got to be something illegal about that, where if you just start sending out fines for whatever reason, like you're not a part of any sort of organization, but you just start fining people. Can you get in trouble for that? Is that illegal? If you send if I send a note to Blabs, and I'm like, Blabs, you've been fined $50, and it says you've been fined $50 for wearing pumpkin earrings, right?
I mean, hey, I'm in
Blabs,
California, so it probably would pass. Like, they'd probably make you pay it. If something showed up here and they were like, "Hi, I'm a stranger, pay me money," I'd probably have to do it.
Right. There's got to be something illegal about that, but at the same time, I don't know. Is that mail fraud or something?
No, it's a glitch. It's a glitch. You remember the money glitch? It's a glitch. It's a hack, guys. You just send fines to strangers. Don't even worry about the address, and then it'll just come back.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, just throw it out. Apparently, it's only illegal if you collect. Spike says only if you collect.
So you can send as many as you want, as long as you don't keep it. All right.
But isn't that like almost like harassment too?
I don't know. Is it
sending like fines to someone and like threatening them, saying you owe me this, you owe me that? That could be like harassment or blackmail or something. I'm sure someone will figure something out for that.
Jib says scammers sends fake invoices all the time. I can't imagine it's legal. I don't know. I would like to let everybody know everybody here has been fined, and the way you can pay up is becoming an annual supporter over at over at sideshowspodcast.com. Yeah, doesn't the IRS just do that? Yeah, right, exactly. Oh my gosh. RL Dog came in and says they should have fined that for a Google. Yeah, that's 100 zeros. That's where the name Google came from as a search engine. There you go. Thanks, RL Dog. That would have been if it keeps doubling every week, they could be on their way very quickly.
It's true.
You know, just throwing it out there. Josh says was going to do a SP. Was going to SP a decillion, but YouTube won't let me. Oh, it's a damn shame. Thank you. But yeah, remember, there's always direct donations. So if anybody wants to send any dectillions our way, we'll take them for sure. Pudding Cat Steamboat Thank you. Says, I recently came across a video by Caleb Salty about some disgusting Minecraft videos on kids' YouTube. It's important to shed light on such a vile thing so YouTube might actually do something. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. There's all sorts of nasty, gross things that happen in these kids' games. And I think we all understand that. Just watch what your kids are doing. Master Gawa says, we need to bully Craig into playing Trail Out. All I know is Oregon Trail Out. Thank you, Master Gawa. And Chris says, hi, guys. I highly suggest you check out Rag's recent video put out. It said you can't take the journo out of IGN. It puts the whole 7 out of 10 thing in perspective. Yeah, I was actually Mark the Cyborg sent that my way. I definitely need to check that out. Thank you for that. And Super Satanson, thank you very much for your support for 20 months. I appreciate that. All right, let's keep on moving on. Switzerland Plays IT says, tell your audience to make a Rumble account, not just lurk to participate in the chat. Hey, go make a Rumble account and not just lurk, but participate in the chat. There you go. Thank you, Switzerland Play IT. All right, let's keep on moving on after our Decillion monies. Hey, we've talked a lot about stupidity on social media. Mally, you make a living on social media. You see people doing dumb things all the time.
I do.
And specifically, you see all these stupid Westerners, all these damn idiots going over to Japan and doing really dumb things in, doing Western things, trying to be idiots on, on social media in very docile settings. Blabs, you were actually in Japan recently. And did you see any of this insanity while you were there? People,
yeah, honestly, the worst stuff I would see were people taking pictures of things that they shouldn't be taking pictures of when there's clearly signs and people saying, do not take photos. Like, you're not supposed to take pictures of the gods, but they do it anyway. You're not supposed to walk in the middle of the torii gates, but people do it anyway, and that's reserved only for the gods. You're supposed to walk in on the sides, and before you walk in, you're actually supposed to bow, and some people just don't do that, and they just disregard. And on the one side, they may not know, but they should research this stuff before going so they don't ruin people's cultures. And then a lot of the times I would see like really loud and obnoxious foreigners on the subway stations, and they would just be super loud, and like even other foreigners would be giving them dirty looks, cough, cough me, giving them the stink eye and everything, and they would just not care. They'd be super loud, obnoxious, rowdy. And yeah, when you go on Japanese subway stations, it's very quiet, super quiet. Everyone minds their own business. Everyone's got their headphones in. No one's talking. It's very, very, very quiet, like a library.
Wait. So you're telling me that there's not super fun things happening? Like this type of thing doesn't happen on...
Yeah, that should not be happening at all. Look, like some of them are laughing because they're like, what the incarnation is this? But yeah, no, most of them are uncomfortable. Look at her. She's totally
poor
uncomfortable.
Girl.
Yeah, she looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And he's over here just trying to be a dummy, a nuisance. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, this has gotten to a point where they started putting up signs.
Yes, they're actually banning people from certain areas. There's areas in Kyoto, Japan, where are now banned from tourists because they're ruining stuff or they're taking pictures and causing traffic. I mean, there are actually cases of people chasing after geishas and trying to take their photos. Now, if you don't know, you're not supposed to take pictures of them. But they try to do it anyway, and they're harassing these women. So, yeah.
Well, the idea that you have to make a sign that says Japan is not a theme park.
Exactly.
And the idea that, shrines and temples are not social media backgrounds, and torii gates are not fitness appliances, and they're not performance stages, and pagodas are not climbing walls. What the fuck? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. And there's more to this also. So I don't know if you know this, but in Japan, the shutter button on people's phones cannot be silenced and muted. So, like men would try to take pictures of girls' skirts because they're in school uniform, and so you would be caught because you would hear the shutter sound. But like foreigners, well, their phones are muted because in America and all that, like you can mute the shutter button and stuff like that. So that stuff also happens where there's creeps taking pictures of like girls and women in skirts or trying to get up there and stuff on subways. Yeah,
that's so disgusting.
Yes.
Have you been to Japan before, Mally?
No.
Will you make a promise when you do actually make your way over to Japan? you promise me something?
Not preemptively. You got to tell me first.
Okay. Will you promise me not to treat the Torii gates as fitness appliances?
That I can promise. That
Okay.
I can promise.
And not to climb up the walls of the pagodas over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though I do social media for a living, guys, I think I can contain myself in Japan. I think, I mean, I don't know. It seems a lot like Disney, so I'm tempted to treat it like a theme park, but I think I'll contain myself.
Yeah. And like there's plenty of things people can do that you can do social media with in Japan. It's just I don't know, they don't have any respect, these foreigners. And it was very obvious like in Japan that a lot of the foreigners were just like, ha, this is my turn to shine and everything. And it's like, sit down, shut up. But it's fine.
So, anyways, don't be fucking stupid when you go to somebody
Yes.
else's country. How's that? Let's just
Facts.
the fact that needs to be said in 2024.
Yeah.
Social media has made a lot of people really dumb.
And like they do not like a lot of Americans in Japan. I'll give you a great story. So when I went to Japan, I was with myself, American. I had a Canadian with me, a Mexican, an Australian, and a Japanese with us. So like we were literally all over the world together in Japan. And when the bartender was like, "So where are you from?" and I was like, "Oh, America," and he was like, "Oh," and then he asked like the person next to me, he's like, "Where are you from?" and he was like, "Australia." I was like, "Yeah, rock on, man," and everything. And I was like, "Ah, man, yeah, they do not really care for the Americans."
No, that's fair. We make a bad reputation for ourselves. I mean, like you were just saying, all of these people going over there, and I'm sure not every single one of them is an American, but I'm sure that it's a majority.
A lot of them, yeah.
You know, a majority of them going over there with this stupid entitled mentality, like, oh, I'm so oppressed with my everything that I have in life, my iPhone and my Nike shoes. Instead, I'm going to travel to a different part of the world and disrespect everything about their culture. But then I'm going to come back to my country and scream about cultural appropriation and disrespect. Okay. Double standard is real.
Yeah, a lot of the Americans have ruined it for the rest of us.
Yeah, no surprise.
John says, don't the Yasuka use Yakuza? Yeah, I said Yasuka. The Yakuza usually deal with them people. And this is why I screwed up the pronunciation. Says Hippo came in, says, wonder if Yasuke used Torii gates as lift bars and climbed pagodas. I hear Ubisoft wanted to get it right.
Those things are like super high up too. So it's like, how the hell did you get up there? You seriously climbed and then did like the lifting? Like, damn.
Yes.
Assassins.
61 says Mount Rushmore is not a climbing wall. I think that's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Look at this. Mark of Reality came in with the massive $50. Look at that. Says, I'm a Gen X person like Gary and Jeremy. I saw the prequels at the theater. I see the problems with the prequels, but I'm one of the few of my generation who liked them. Finally saw the big city in Star Wars. I also like the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. Mark of Reality, thank you so much for that great support. Genuinely appreciate that. Big ups to Mark of Reality and big ups to to everybody for the Normal Man reward right there. Thank you, Mark. That's outstanding. Mercenary says, I am autistic and would be more behaved than these freaks. This really makes my heart hurt really bad. Yes, I 100% agree. And this name, which I can't pronounce, which I'm not going to try to pronounce, but thank you so much, says it all started with Logan Paul and Johnny Somali. That's right.
Fair.
Yeah, bad behavior goes unpunished, so then everyone else can do it too.
Yep.
Matthew says you did drop a nuclear bomb on them, so there's that.
Yeah, twice. We got to clarify here. Twice.
You. Taker says, "Is it okay to go to Nintendo headquarters in Kyoto and scream in my dark Knight voice? Where's the Switch 2? Where is it? Where's the next Mario Kart?" No, Taker, that's not okay. But thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate that. All right, let's go to a story that's been released over the last little bit. And by the way, I'd like to thank the source to this story, Day One Patch Kids, who follows me over on X and sends me stories occasionally, and I'm sure is tuning in right now. So thank you for this story, sending it over. There's a new research, and color me shocked here. New research of female video game characters uncovers a surprising twist. Now, I am not shocked by this. Blabs, Mally, I'll be very surprised. I'll be interested to see what you have to say about this. But female gamers prefer playing as highly sexualized characters despite disliking them.
I do not dislike them. I want to be very upfront about that. I do not dislike them. I love them.
Yeah, I like being fit.
And then I also prefer playing them. If I have to stare at this character in this screen for the next 20-something hours to complete my game, yeah, I want it to look good.
Right. Here's the quick overview. It says, can a strong female character who is also highly sexualized inspire positive perceptions from players? Not necessarily, according to a new study in communication research. Researchers found that while strength in female video game characters might signal capability, it doesn't counterbalance the negative impact of sexualization. But in a surprising twist, female participants, despite generally disliking highly sexualized characters, were more likely to choose these characters when given the option to play as one. The study sheds light on why, even in today's gaming landscape, character design matters, and how different types of interactions, from watching to playing, shape players' perceptions. A character's sex appeal and strength both play a role in how players perceive them, and those perceptions shift depending on whether players are simply watching or actively engaging with the character. So, Mally, you obviously you're fine with hot women.
I mean, I've been playing video games since I could hold a controller. I am fine with hot girls being in video games. I think that they belong in video games. And I just wanted to throw this out there for anybody that knows about the TikTok trend where the people will put a picture of themselves in and they use the AI filter to like make themselves a video game character. I've seen a lot of these videos. Most of them are females doing this trend, okay? And most of the time, the trend is revolving around whether or not the person who made it and their own picture would play as their own character. And do you want to know what that revolves around? Whether or not they find themselves hot. Literally, every single time I see one of these girls making these videos, they're like, oh, this is me as a video game character. I wouldn't play her, or I would play her, based on how attractive they found themselves in 8-bit form. It's like, yeah, we all want to look attractive. I don't care what it is. I want to like what I'm staring at.
I think that's something that people just don't understand about this. Is like when I play a character, like I'll go back to like an old game like Altered Beast, right? Now that's just an old school arcade game from way back in the day. But the idea is that you go from skinny weakling to uber buff guy by collecting power ups, and I always want to play as the big buff strong guy. And if I don't play as the big buff strong guy, you know what I'm playing as? Is the hot girl, right? Like it comes down to functionality for me, and it's a bonus that they're attractive, you know. Blabs, what are your thoughts on this? Are you surprised by this at all?
I want to know who they did the study on, because it's like despite disliking them. I'm like, who did you ask?
Yeah.
Who was the control group? Who
Me
was
too.
every single person in this study?
Yeah.
All right, well, here you go.
Here we go.
Yes, the first experiment included 239 undergrad students from a communication program, with the majority of participants identifying as female.
Yep.
where
So
we're at.
you had
there was
trannies in
multiple
there.
things wrong with that.
Yes. Ages varied from 18 to 51, though the group was generally younger, which makes sense if you have undergrad students.
Yeah.
The researchers.
So it's
Yes.
just from one college, from what I'm understanding. So what if it's like in some super soy area that's all lefty loonies, and you have identifying, so you have some soy boy male trans wannabe whatever.
Yeah.
This isn't exactly a control study then, is it? If
Yeah.
it's all the same people, the same ideas.
Right.
Do they
Yeah, I'd
understand
also
how this
love to
stuff
hear
works?
this. Exactly. I would love to hear these opinions coming from real female gamers from an actual widespread diverse group that have different opinions, not, oh, let's just go find the one that's going to fit our narrative.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
And
this.
this kind of goes, sorry, cutting up, but this kind of goes into what we were saying the other day with Jeff for the Call of Duty non-binary skin. It's like, well, this character's operator isn't even good looking, so who's going to play this character? Because all the Call of Duty characters are usually really hot women. Like Alex Ziegler was there, the character Rose is there. They're all pretty darn good looking. So if no one's going to play these characters, well, there's your answer.
Well, to further this home, so it says the researchers created 4 distinct types of female characters using Soul Calibur 6s. Each character was customized to represent one of 4 combinations of sexualization and strength: high sexualization with high strength, high sexualization with low strength, low sexualization with high strength, and low sexualization with low strength. So, if you were to do that. Now, there's a character creator in Soul Calibur, but just to kind of as a point of reference, here's what the female characters look like in Soul Calibur. And Soul Calibur has always had really sexy characters. It looks like what you'd expect, and which is awesome. So, Soul Calibur itself is pretty cool looking game.
That was badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first one was 2B, wasn't it?
2B, the character?
Yeah.
Cassandra.
No. Wherever you were like before.
Did you right here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
her.
2B right here. Yep. 2B right there. Yep. So
She looks badass.
yeah. So anyways, with that said, this is Taki's a Soul Calibur veteran along the way. This is what you get, but you can go and create your own characters in the game, and that's what they did in this situation. So yeah, that's the long and short of it. They participants watched 4 pre-recorded video clips, each featuring a different character type, engaging in a short combat sequence. After reviewing the clip, participants rated the characters across several dimensions, such as perceived sexualization, if the character's attire seemed revealing, strength, femininity, and likability. I would love to know what their gender, or what gender? I saw gender here. What the character creator characters actually look like, because I think that would go a long way. Because being created characters, you don't know what they're looking at. But I don't know. Color me shocked in this, and by that I mean I'm being extremely sarcastic. I think everybody knows that attractive people are, people like attractive people more than, and that's just kind of how it goes. Especially if you have a chance to make your own video game. It's like, who makes a video game character to make them look ugly outside of if you're a video game developer? If you have the option to make your own character, most of the time you're making them pretty damn hot.
Who would have thought that after all these millions of years, people like sexy characters? Isn't that wild? What a revelation.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that works out. It's amazing, really, how that works out. So, yeah. And that's the thing. I go back to this all the time, right? I think this is why side scrollers works. It's because I don't think that over the last 5-10 years that human biology has changed. I know that people like boobs. I know that people like attractive people. I know that people still like explosions and guns and blood and action, because people don't change. It's all the same, despite what X and social media and they them tell you, that's not true. So they're the outliers. Anyways, there you go. Hey, the Titter Pig Rancher came in with the $50. Wow, thank you very much. Says the Yakuza used to work with the police to keep order on the streets. I remember seeing Yakuza standing in the middle of crosswalks in Akihabara watching for trouble. Then the government cracked down on them. They now have problems like this. Ironic. It's interesting. Thank you very much, the Titter Pig Rancher. That is spectacular, and we greatly appreciate your support today. Thank you very much for that. That is great. Worthy One says, I hate when people of my complexion go to Japan and F around, because when I eventually go, I know I'm going to get side-eyed by citizens no matter how respectful I am. Thank you, Worthy One. Appreciate that. And David says, I remember playing Tomb Raider on PlayStation 1 back in the day. My mom's reaction when she saw Lara Croft for the first time was, I wish I was her. With her big old fake polygon boobies along the way, which is great. Stay says, Craig, show Ivy from Soul Calibur. Blabs, do you know Ivy from Soul Calibur?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I do. Let's see. Ivy, Soul.
No, I'll get you. Ivy from Soul Calibur. Let me make sure I get a nice picture here from Ivy, because Ivy is spectacular in every way, shape, and form. I just want you to let's see. Soul Calibur. Let's see if I can get a better one. There we go. Here's a nice one of
It's actually Craig's
we'll
wallpaper. He replaced Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Well, here you go. This is just a quick, this is Ivy here, and usually she wears far more revealing costumes.
Oh, I've seen her before, especially that outfit.
Yeah, she's like the sex queen, the dommy mommy.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks, Stay at Home Hippo. Appreciate that. All right. SC came in and says ugly is a sign of sickness, therefore undesirable.
Damn.
All
Not
right,
wrong.
let's keep moving on. Let's go. Oh, there you go, Mally. Love that. Hey, Mally, you recently played a game. You played the new Epic Mickey. Is that right?
I did. Yes.
Would you like to give everybody a 2-minute review of your experience?
Yeah, I'll do the best I can. I will admit I have not completely finished it yet, but I am doing that on my Rumble stream. So if you guys want to see that, you can go to my page. I have several of the VODs on there. But no, the game has been really, really good. You guys remember that the original came out in 2010 only on the Wii. So the reason they remastered this, and I say remastered very loosely, rebrushed it is a very much more accurate definition because they literally had to remake the whole game. And you can tell. Whereas before on the Wii, the controls were very touchy because you had a nunchuck that you had to the joystick that you had to use to direct all around. It was not easy to control. And now because they have put it on these other consoles, I played on PS5 and I played at the D23 Expo on an Xbox controller. Both of them were very, very smooth. And you can tell not only is the gameplay smooth, but the actual visuals of the game are incredibly smoothed out and the lighting has been corrected. You can just tell that the animation and the graphics were brought up from 2010 to almost 2025. And so it's a beautiful game to watch. The gameplay is the exact same. So if you've played it before and you're not interested in it again, don't waste your money. But if you appreciate updated graphics and you are a fan of the game, or you're interested in any of the kind of lore side stuff about Disney, it's a really fun game. It takes a whole new perspective on what's going on there. And as a lifelong Disney fan, you get some extra information about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which is my favorite character. And he's like one of the main characters in the game. And so you get to see a lot of cool sides of it. You get to fight robot pirates and lots of cool stuff in the game. I just love how updated it is. And it's so much more beautiful than it was 15 years ago and functional. So there's my review of it. Also, the game is cool just because there's multiple outcomes. So if you play the game and you make your own choices, you're not going to have the same outcome as everybody else. There's 3 different endings: a good, a bad, and a mutual. So depending on every single choice that you make in the game, you get to determine how it ends. And I think that's cool.
Oh, I like that. I never finished Epic Mickey. I got like halfway through the first one, and I got like halfway through the second one because the second one was even worse in my opinion. Because it was on the Wii and it was not censoring correctly.
No, the second one, I really hope they rebrush the second one as well, because the second one is where they introduced Oswald as being a second player character, and he does not function. He doesn't help you. And so you have to have a person playing with you in order to even get through the game. Yeah. So I feel that. I get it. I hope they rebrush it too, because I can't even go back and play the second one as much as I love it. But
yeah,
no,
the music for me was like always the best parts of those 2 games. So
it's so nostalgic. Yeah. So
if it goes on sale for Christmas, I think I might have to get it.
You should.
Hi, Craig.
Well, thank you for that, Mal. Appreciate that. No, let y'all do your thing. This is great. Thank you for your 2-minute review there. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and continue on. By the way, Tech Support Gaming says, "Where's the Super Chat Square up from yesterday?" Yeah, didn't get a chance to get to it. I was on Tuesday night's main event yesterday. Didn't get a chance, but I have them all ready to go. I actually see yours from yesterday, which I'll just read that right now. Tech Support Gaming says, "The better way to stay the fuck away from Tails. They better stay the fuck away from Tails and Soul Calibur. I swear to God, they better not touch Soul Calibur. This series has not been through been through enough from corporate mishandling. Does not need the DEI death nail. I will boycott Bamco if this happens." Thank you, Tech Sport Gaming. I'll just get that. That was from yesterday. I appreciate your support. All right, Mally, I want to talk about this game, Dragon Age Veilguard. You have not heard a whole lot about this, and why would you along the way? But this is a game that's been shrouded in a lot of talk about what's been going on with this game, specifically from a review standpoint, which we'll get to momentarily. But I want to kind of educate you on why there's been a lot of controversy around this game. Number one, the Dragon Age franchise is very popular, and this is a game that's being produced by EA. And Savvy had a thread here about, and by the way, people talk about this game failing. I do not think this game is going to fail. I do think it's going to underperform, but I do not think it's going to fail. It will not be a Concord. It will not be a Dustborn. It It will not be. It's still going to be successful. It'll sell a couple million copies and do fine, but it's not going to be a blockbuster. With that said, a little bit of background for you, Mally. This is actually from Savvy. She does a really good job of consolidating this. And then we're going to give you some examples of this in just a second. It says, want a glimpse into who is responsible for the super quirky and talented writing team so far at Dragon Age Veilguard? What I love most about writing we've seen is that it truly speaks from an authentic, self-inserting kind of way that is void of nuance in exchange for low-effort, knockoff Marvel humor from someone who substitutes reality for fantasy and fantasy for reality. Now, this is the type of person that is writing for Dragon Age: The Veilguard. This is a big story along the way, and they are, as you would expect, blue-haired, all sorts of,
they got bullied.
This. Yeah. Somewhere along the way, they got bullied, right? For sure. And she continues down here with, says, you're probably wondering who hired this absolute talented individual who totally isn't pandering. Patrick moved off Twitter, deleting all his tweets, but he's active on Blue Sky. This is the narrative designer, and he had the ability to hire the above individual. So here's Patrick right here. This is what a talented guy he is. They, them, by the way.
So he doesn't know he's a man. Got it.
Right. And you can see right here along the way, another chapter finished for my personal novel. Starting to love my doofus heroes. What a good sign. So this is the type of thing that these type of people who are writing about writing these games. Now, this is also the game director of the game. This is him in 2020. This is him in 2021. Obviously, probably also bullied along the way.
Easily.
With all that said, that is how you get instances like this, where in the game, you're playing a fantasy game built around orcs and elves and all sorts of shit. You get notifications like this. You've chosen to encourage Tosh by focusing on the benefits of a multicultural background. But it continues here because a couple characters are talking, and you get an instance like this from Neve. So some of my friends in Minthrathos talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin as a man, as a woman.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I have not pre-screened this, but Alfarius says, check out Grums' X new Veilguard clip. I can't even begin to describe how painful it is to watch this. I have that pulled up. I have not seen this clip, but let's go check this out in real time. I have not seen this yet. Blabs, have you seen this?
No.
Okay, so let's see how this goes in real time.
Pounding that snake's nose. She's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties. I was so proud.
Oh,
shit. They're still holding it.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh
It's
no!
so bad already. It's so bad already. What the fuck?
We're 14 seconds into it. We're 14 seconds in.
The guy on the right, his face says it all. That's all you need to know.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Oh my god. Oh, hold on. Okay. What?
In her other hand. Maker's panties. I was so proud.
oh,
Shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
what are you doing?
Pulling a barb.
Oh, okay. A barb?
Tradition in the Lords of Fortune from one of our old members, Barv. Good guy, but like most of us, his plans went sideways a lot. Bad blood among your crew's not good for morale, but there's not always time for big, drawn-out apologies. So when one of us screws up and we know we've screwed up, we do a quick 10 to put it right. Pulling a Barv.
What the fuck?
There we go.
So
Oh,
she
this is great.
apologizes for wrong pronouns by
No, she
doing
does
10
push-ups to
push-ups,
apologize.
yeah.
She doesn't even. I mean, I guess she said the quick sorry on the way to do
Yeah.
the push. Ah.
Yeah.
There will be physical punishment, by the way. Physical punishment
Honestly,
for
this
those who...
game, I'm sure if it didn't have all this bullshit in it, I'm sure it'd be actually kind of fun to play.
Yeah, it
Oh,
like
sure.
almost looked fun, and then they spoke.
Yeah, like I like their outfits and shit. I'm like, that actually kind of looks cool. And then they start speaking, and it's like, well, never mind. I'll go play Sea of Thieves instead. Thanks.
This is how you know that
All right,
this
what-
is these people entire their entire personality traits, and this is all they have as far as sustenance in being a human being, because they think that it's even fun to play games that talk about their bullshit still. Like, it's not enough to complain about it in their entire day-to-day life, but then when they go to be a creative person to make something for the world, they still have to insert that shit in it. These people have nothing else in their lives. Nothing. They must be miserable, depressed, obviously bullied.
1,000%. 1,000%. Let's continue on to see how this goes, because there's still a minute and a half left, Mally.
I don't know. I can't do it.
Oh, you're doing it, Mally.
Screws up and we know we've screwed up. We do a quick 10 to put it right. Pulling above. Oh, there we go.
Okay, hold on.
We have options.
Here's your skill tree. Maybe we should use it. Self improvement and exercise. And then you good, Tosh? Okay, let's see what happens here. More. That's very open-minded. Why not just apologize? Here we go.
I'm glad the Lords of Fortune have Tarsh's back.
Oh, Tarsh isn't the first non-binary member of the Lords.
Motherfucker.
Really?
It was a little before your time, but Horlicks was one of ours.
Huh.
Bastard looked better than I did in a dress or pants. And out of them, too.
Oh, what?
Ew.
Why do you gotta say that? Why do you gotta say that shit in a video game? We were
That's
literally just
totally
talking about we were,
inappropriate.
like attractive characters, not sexualized characters. You don't need to be talking about sex. Just look good in your costume and then go shoot guns and stuff. That's literally all you need. Why do you need this?
This chick just admitted to sleeping with basically her coworkers because they're all in a crew together, and then she's telling the rest of her coworkers that they're sleeping together. This woman is trouble.
How dare you identify her as a
flag.
woman?
Yikes.
The red flag happened when she opened her mouth at 14 seconds. That's what happened.
Let's finish this up.
Any reason you can't just apologize?
Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it. But they just want to get the whole thing over with. Trust me, I know. But pulling a bath, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
What if they mean it when they say they're sorry, though?
And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them.
What the fuck does this have to do with a video game? So
Literally, this has been so much time dedicated to bullshit.
I mean, you will be physically punished if you misgender somebody. Get fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's the other
And so smarmy. The voice actors.
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them.
Anyone else see immense irony in that, where your pronouns are entirely about them? And she's saying that, oh my, the irony is rich here. The most narcissistic thing that you can possibly do.
Yeah.
Make it about them. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I didn't mean it right. I'd never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth it over and make them feel better.
Oh, okay. Yes, some people might do that.
Pulling above puts it on the person who screwed up. They made the mess, they fix it, done.
This is the type of shit that makes everybody in that community look stupid as fuck and preachy and annoying. You go down the street and you see the old white Christian woman with thumping the Bible in your face. You're like, just leave me alone, right? You go down the street and you see the 20-something late girl with a rainbow flag put in your face. You're like, just fucking leave me alone, right? Switch this around. If this had any other context with any sort of activism, you'd be like, shut the fuck up. And that's the thing that I don't think these people truly understand. just get the fuck out of my face. Like, I get it, right? I get it. You love whoever you want to love. Fucking A, that's awesome. You don't need a 2-minute breakdown of this shit in a fantasy game where she's in a fucking pirate outfit over here. And you got this fucking this person over here, this non-binary whatever's wearing feathers and what are we doing? Nothing about this makes sense. And I hope this is in the first 2 hours of the game. So when people see this in the first 2 hours, they can go on Steam and refund the fuck out of this. Because I don't play games to be told what a bad person I am, especially when they're saying fucking you need to have a physical some sort of physical punishment.
Yeah, you need to like prove and show it. And it's like, I would love for someone out there to make a video game where just as you've gotten deep enough into it, they start lecturing you about God and how you don't have a good enough relationship with him and religion and how you should turn. I would love for some lefties to try out a game like that and see how much they hate it and being told things that they don't fucking care about while they're trying to have fun playing a video game.
Oh my God. Anyways, this is the game that's coming out. Valley. It's coming out here tomorrow. 60 watts says people hate escapism. Escapism enables others to ignore them. Being ignored is on par with being denied existence to them. They want us all to be as miserable as they are. Well, it's working. It's working. Eddie the Bunny says this is so painfully performative and pandering. Yes.
Yeah.
Mercenary. Send the asteroid. Yes. Well, maybe we'll get one on Tuesday next week.
Yeah.
Mystery says, now I can't eat lunch because it's Dragon Age clip. Sorry. Thank you, Mercenary. Appreciate that. And Gear. I'm very sure that these reviews are legit fake. Companies like BioWare and EA spend most of their budgets pushing this awfulness to our faces. All right, we're going to get to that in just a second. Holy shit. So anyways, Mally, I know what you're going to say, but does this make you want to play this game at all?
I know. No, not even a little bit. In fact, it makes me want to run in the other direction. In fact, it makes me want to go to Steam and write a bad review having not even bought it. It makes me just want to go write a review about it, only watching gameplay from someone else.
You're on a little delay, Craig.
Okay. Well, Mally, I know we only have you for a few more minutes, and that's totally fine. But with that said, Blabs, do you have anything on this?
Yeah, it's a no from me, dog. No, thank you.
Oh, it's good. Good for you. Now, Mally, this is where I wanted to talk about the reviews. And I posted this the other day. This is from a reviewer named SkillUp. And we talked about this on the channel the other day. But this is how they prefaced their review prior to actually talking about it. Okay, so I want to play this for you and just kind of get your honest thoughts on this.
I want to begin this review the same way I did my Final Fantasy 16 review, which is to say that reviews are opinions. This is my opinion and my opinion only. I expect that there will be a broad range of opinions on Dragon Age the Veilguard, and I encourage you to seek them out. I do not have a monopoly on truth. As I've said many times before, I'm just a nerd with a microphone and a YouTube account. My opinion is no more or less valuable than anybody else's. Okay? All right. So Dragon Age the Veilguard is a colossal disappointment. I really can't put it any other way.
Okay. So he has a 30-second rundown here, and I just said it's almost like he's scared of the pushback he'd receive for simply having an opinion that isn't approved. Right?
Nailed it. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the guy's giving a disclaimer of please don't hate me, please don't hate me, please don't hate me. I'm about to say something that you're not going to like, so just please don't unfollow. But here's my opinion. Like, he's devaluing his own opinion before saying that. I wouldn't go out there and be like, hey, don't listen to me, but here's my video. Like, no, don't fucking watch my videos if you don't want to listen to me. Fuck off. Like, hello?
Well, he didn't like the game, but the traditional access media has very much enjoyed this game. And you can see that the scores here across the board: Eurogamer 5 out of 5, Game Rant 10 out of 10, IGN 9, Push Square 8. Then you see down here, they get 3 out of 5. Ugh. But the Metacritic score hovering at an 84 right now over on Metacritic right now. And you can see across the platforms, it's not released on PC, but it has a 79 And this is only available to critics right now, and Xbox has a 93. Well, let's dig into those actual reviews. This is actually from It's Based, which is a game jam for based developers. It says, gamers, I wonder if there are bots or just sellouts copy and pasting their reviews. Now, when you go back and you look at these reviews, Dragon Age Veilguard is a triumphant return to form. This is without a doubt a return to form. Veilguard is a return to form. Veilguard is a return to form. It's a triumphant return to form for BioWare.
Oh, they're not even hiding it. I was literally thinking that when you were saying this. I was like, it's bots. They're bought out. This is not real. The internet nowadays is so full of that stuff. I don't know how anybody could see something this atrociously awful and think anyone actually likes it. No matter how many good reviews you see, do you not know people buy their followers, their likes, their reviews, the everything? You can pay for anything, people.
I am amazed at this. And like I said, I think this game is going to do fine. This game is going to do just fine. It's going to sell a few million copies. It's not going to do barn burners by any means, but it's going to do just fine. But I think that the next game could, if they continue on with the Dragon Age franchise, the next game is the one that will suffer, because people will play this and then they'll be like, I really didn't like to be preached to and be told I need to do push-ups if I misgender somebody along the way. So I'm probably not going to buy the next one. Got any pin to put on this one, Blabs? You got any thoughts on that?
I just kind of think we should all probably just start misgendering people just so we all do push-ups and get really buff.
Maybe that's
one good thing.
That's a good idea.
All right, sure. I'll totally get punished. I'll totally do these 10 push-ups and get really buff, and then you'll be upset that I'm buff now, and I'll still misgender you.
Yeah.
Well, it is it's an amazing thing to watch, the immense return to form along the way, and the true
from bigots to biceps.
What's that, Blabs?
Someone in chat just said from bigots to biceps, and I thought that's funny.
I like it.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. This whole situation is crazy, and obviously the thing that everybody needs to do is wait until the game is out and you actually get gamers reviews from this. I think you're going to see a very big polarization as far as people playing the game and reviewing the game, and on Steam, and that's where you want it. You want to go to Steam to see the reviews on that from people who actually have played the game. See how many people get return it along the way. But Veilguard comes out tomorrow on Halloween, which if you want to talk about dressing up in costumes and being silly, that's apparently a lot of the people who write the game do that on a day-to-day basis. So there you go. With that said, Mally, I know you got to go. So how about you give everybody a heads up on where they can find you?
Yeah, I actually stream on Rumble, where you can find all of my VODs for all of my previous live streams if you want to go catch up on any of that epic Vicky gameplay, or if you guys want to hang out with me some more today. I live stream every Wednesday at noon, where we just go screaming at the internet about all the bullshit going on. So I have some of my own topics that I'll be talking about in just a little bit here. And if you guys like my opinions, then you can also follow me on X, because I post a lot of videos over there that I think you guys would like. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can find me on all of my links are on my link tree. And so, yeah.
Melly's links are always in the description below, guys.
Yep. Mally does a great job. Well, thank you, Mally. Appreciate you. Have a great day. We look forward to seeing you soon, where hopefully we'll have a country then.
Yeah, right. I'll see you guys
2
after
weeks,
in
whatever
either
that
World War
looks like.
III or in a beautiful country again. And happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.
All right. See you,
Thanks,
Mal.
Melly.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Soul Silver says you should really watch the whole Shill Up review. As I said before, this man is terrified of losing early access media, and it's just sad to see.
But why should we waste our time on that?
I started watching a little bit of it, and I got about, he is critical of the game, and that's fine, but it's always like critical with baby gloves, Hey, this is spectacular. Necroner came in with a $50 super chat. Says, modern current year game developers, now we're going to pause the game for at least 2 minutes to preach our ideology. It will not come up again in the story, and it will not actually deepen the characterization of the characters. And we're shut.
That is so true. That's been happening for years. It's a great way of explaining everything.
Yep.
You're
And now
still
we
on
will
a
pause
huge
everything.
delay, Craig.
go.
You're like hugely delayed. So
I don't.
I'm gonna take the reins, man, because I don't know where you're at anymore. Anyway,
I'm gonna refresh
Mr. Tickle
again.
Trunk says review propaganda is the perfect term for this. Yes. Benjamin says Blabs, watch those movies. Oh, we'll get Arch to explain Warhammer lore, and you'll be forced to listen to every second of it. There will be a test too. Honestly, I'm down to listen to Arch explain Warhammer. Arch is fascinating to listen to. Jay Watt says, can we get an example of a mouse's crazy eyes? Oh, I'm sorry, she's already gone, but here's some crazy. Okay. Suna Soul Silver says, you should have told your friends to buy it for you. What are we talking about? Anyway. Matthew says, I know you don't always like my take on things, Craig, but this is a great show. Thank you, guys. Savvy's work yesterday was absolutely incredible, by the way. Well, thank you very much, Matthew. 60 Watt says, I was spawn camped back in the 90s. Haven't played multiplayer shooters since. I still get nightmares. Also, I really suck at shooters. J Watt says, is Smash JT on TRVG Awards board? If he is, I'll put my money down right now. You'd have to check with Craig and check the website. Dennis says, Battlefield 1 still looks great after 8 years. Thank you. Benjamin says, can I buy a house with that money in this economy? Probably not. Nathan says, as a guy who was scammed last year, it's only illegal if you get caught on the scammer. And most of them live out of the country. Yeah, a lot of them live out in like the Philippines and stuff. Master Gawa says, Trail Out even has zombies on Steam sale for $11. Carla says, why they don't try this in Mexico? Cheers, bro chachos. Great question. Sion? Sorry? I'm an American living in Japan. I think the lack of enthusiasm by the bartenders, partly because we just aren't as uncommon as other foreigners. Perhaps just because the Americans ruin stuff. Who knows? Alfred says, check out Grum's X new Veilguard clip. Yeah, we saw that one. Thank you. Suna Soul Surfer says, we went from bad tourist visiting Japan to bad tourist in video games. We are living in a clown world and this needs to end. Listen, Clown World came 2 days early for you guys. Crazy T says, I love hot women in games. Example, a Nintendo 64 Orchid. Sorry, I'm retarded. Super Satanson says, people publicly reject pretty characters, but still prefer them in private because current culture demands you lie to yourself for political correctness. Well put. Kira says, Sigma grind set number 34. Is this rule 34? Anyway, bring hot women in video games again. Witches, maids, agents, office clerks, 8 feet tall ladies, etc. Anyway, thank you. Master Gawa's a surprise. Everyone in the world likes boobs. Some people just lie about it. This research study only exists to attempt to justify the pretenders' lies. Yes, correct. By the way, chat, don't forget to smash the like button. Thanks. DB Wild says, no simpin' Bagasse Mally's mannerisms are insatiably adorable. High props to you all. Keep it up for all normal men to get by in this crazy world. Thank you, and I'm sorry we didn't read that. Kevin says, that scene about physical punishment for the misgendering feels like propaganda and a wet dream for some of these people. Scary, very scary. Furren? I went from indifferent to this game since I knew it would be bad to downright disgusted. It is unfortunate that normies will buy it without knowing this. Darn normies. Nathan says, I've been clashing with DA fans, warning them that the Veilguard was going to suck on the basis of Anthem and the development cycle, much to their charging. I didn't expect the game to be this bad, however. Thank you, Nathan. Oh, hello. Nice to see you here. Suna says, I have no doubt this is beyond the 2-hour mark, so we don't get the full refund and just get their full lecture of their narrative. Yeah, that would make more sense to me that they would put it in after 2 hours, to be completely honest. That's just my opinion. D. Schwartzkrieg says, it is not my job to validate someone else's existence. Yes. Benjamin says, I know enough lefties to say this. They act like they talk like this, and they expect you to do the exact same. They are as fake can be and see themselves as our moral superiors. White saviors and stuff. Cody says, the fact that IGN scored this abomination the same as Super Mario 64 shows how much both the AAA gaming industry and Access Media have lost the plot. Yes. Mark of Reality says, preach, Mally! No more preaching in video games, especially the political DEI garbage, and anything else for that matter. Sorry we didn't see that for her. Zaki says, is it possible to eliminate Tash to remove this from the game so I can eliminate her or ignore her push out from the party? So Bluff says, the Kunari General in Dragon Age 2 would look at the Kunari and Veilguard and take care of business. I hope I said that right, but thank you. Bike Short Senpai. Latina Breeder. What the hell? Give me an AI writer over whatever slop they give us any day. Oh, yeah. They'll be coming out soon. M Champion says, is Blabs about to explode? She's blinking. Yes, I am a detonation. Wolfen says, living up to NPC's allegations. Insert pre-approved talking points here. The Worthy One says, remember that scene from Head of State where Bernie Mac was walking by slapping people one by one? That's what needs to happen to everyone who worked on this game.
Oh, that sounds very familiar. Do we still have that?
Yeah, do we still have that clip? I don't know. We might.
I think so. Where am I? I'll look for it. You keep going.
Yeah, Mercenary says, I saw this garbage in Dragon Age Inquisition. No money. Retro Apocalypse says, we're in a serious crisis of a competency. Our modern writers are porn-addicted fetishes who literary influences our Marvel movies and Reddit. The sooner these people are rejected, the better. Did you find it?
No, I got this one, though.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
But I'll tell you, I do have this one, of course. Sometimes you got to slap a bitch.
That's true. All right. Says, I have become non-binary. Yeah,
that's probably the funniest thing that I've seen is the whole non-binary aspect.
Non-binary. Six String says, Craig, are you there? Hello? Craig? It's back now. Paco Paulo says, the pirate character name is Isabella, and she was very different in Dragon Age 2. Check it out and compare.
Yeah, I actually have some images pulled up.
Yeah,
next.
I'd like to see.
Yeah, actually, tell you what, Blabs, you do that really quick.
Where are they?
While I just look, Isabella, Dragon Age 2, and Isabella, Dragon Age Veilguard. You look at the differences between the two. While I read off this from Delta says, in other news, Asmongold is back and roasting hot dogs. He found back in the back of his freezer over the dumpster fire that is Twitch and its potential doom. Thank you, Delta. Bellex Gaming says, Craig, you dressing up as Borderlands Jamie Lee Curtis tomorrow?
Dude, what happened to her boobs? They're gone.
What do you think happened to her boobs? We got modern day.
Dude, she just got uglified. Like, I didn't think she was so bad, you know? Like, at least they had some skin showing for her in this new one, Veilguard, but in comparison, woof. Anyway.
She went from a D cup down to a B real quick.
That's not even a B. That looks like an A, honestly.
All right. Tell me what. I don't know.
Teeny tiny.
Bell's curious about what we're dressing up as tomorrow for Halloween. Make sure you guys tune in.
Yeah,
for Halloween Spectacular, which will be great. Switzerland says, Switzerland Play says, by the way, Mighty Megatron is a rusty peepee, has a rusty peepee. Well, that's good to know. Thank you for that. Delta says, what's really interesting in Fextra video where he talks about the the backlash of reviewing the game poorly. Somehow Veilguard became the Hogwarts legacy for the other side, while some people are even afraid to review it. Oh, wow.
Well, it's funny about Hogwarts Legacy because what that super chat was saying before, how like they just put that in and that does nothing to the plot. That's literally what happened in Hogwarts Legacy. There was a whole talk about transgender bartender and that didn't do anything to the plot whatsoever, but we still championed it on this side. Just saying.
Yeah. And then John came in with a massive $50 direct donation, says, for Craig's Spectrum Fund. I think it's more than my internet. I think it has to do with my browsers, if I'm being honest. I probably need to go to a two PC setup from here on out. So yeah, I'll figure it out. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. I need to do a little education on that. All right, we do have I'll tell you, let's hold off on this Ubisoft story till tomorrow, Blabs.
I think Alex is the perfect one to talk about that with.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll do that. Now we do have a Wholesome, it says Wholesome Palate Cleanser. I have not seen this. But let's go. Oh, yes, this is a wonderful palate cleanser. After talking about the insanity and just stopping down for 2 minutes and just saying, hey, let me tell you about how you should do push-ups for misgendering somebody. How about we get to this doggo here? Everyone loves dogs.
Hi, small fellow. No, you go straight on, mate. You go straight on. There, good job. That's a good well done. Good boy.
How strong is he? I love it. That's really it. I think it's so sweet. And the fact that dog is so strong, like his jaw muscles must be, man.
Give it up for small dogs carrying big sticks.
Big sticks.
Not dicks. Thank you for that. That's wonderful. Love that. All right, you guys have been spectacular today. Thank you very much for your support. We have some awesome videos coming up later on today. I think I'm going to do a video about, did you hear about the, we talked about it briefly, but Blabs, just as a teaser for a little bit. Did you hear about the Kamala Harris Freedom Town USA map on Fortnite?
Oh, yesterday? Yes.
Well, we dug into it a little deeper, and it's spectacular. So I may do a standalone video on that. But a quick reminder, we do have a standalone video coming up at 2 o'clock. It's from yesterday. It's a deep dive. I mean, it's about 40-something minutes long, I think, about the insanity of Kim Belair, her sex podcast, and the big deep dive into all that stuff. If you didn't catch the show yesterday, even if you did, definitely look for that video around 2 o'clock Central Time in about an hour and 19 minutes. It is available for members right now over on YouTube. So, yeah. With that said, appreciate you guys popping in. You guys have an excellent rest of your day. Tomorrow is Halloween, and it should be a great show. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Make sure you guys are wearing your Halloween costumes as well with us tomorrow. And we look forward to that. With that said, have a great rest of your day. And remember, oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't read Rumble. Hold on. Sorry. Let me get to Rumble. Lone Wolf came in with the 5, says, soon Google will be renaming themselves to Umbrella Corp, starting generic research for the new T virus. Thanks, Lone Wolf. He also said, spawn camping is how I win. FYI, it goes all the way back to Quake 2. There you go. McLeod says, speaking of Cali, there is one company that sues and fires all companies that make anything for not having the cancer warning sticker for trace amounts of cancer chems. That's amazing and funny. Saint D says, did you hear that Veilguard? Did you hear that in Veilguard, the Rook barely quote mean to anyone? Any response choosing the dialogue? I don't even understand what that means. Saint D says, did you hear that in Veilguard that Rook is barely mean to anyone to any? Okay, so they're just very, very nice. Well, thank you, Saint. No, I didn't, but hey, that's how we're doing it. All right, with that said, guys.
No, locals.
Yes, locals. Let's go.
Okay, Spoon Ninja for $1 says, no one mentioned Conan. Well, you clearly did. And then Felstuff sent $1 saying, what we're going to see is a purge of negative gamer reviews for Dragon Age, and they'll say the bad reviewers were a bunch of folks who didn't buy the game. Yeah, that is a great point. They probably will do that. Are you muted? Yes, you are. So I'll just talk to myself instead.
No. But by the way, just a heads up, we want to. We are in the process of attempting to book Abu Bakr Salim from Tales of Kenzara Zal for a potential conversation. So just a heads up, that could be really, really great. It could happen as early as this week. So just want to give you guys a heads up. We got a bunch of great guests on the way. So. Speedy Cake says, did you hear Spinal Tap and Mallrats have sequels in the works for earlier this year or next? Stop. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Thanks, Speedy Cake. Appreciate that. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Appreciate your support. You guys were massive today. Lots of boobies on the stream, which was wonderful. So thank you for that. With that said, have a great rest of your day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys tomorrow when we're back at it. Go watch that video at 2 o'clock. Hopefully that takes off, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Fatality.